Alright, welcome back ladies and gentlemen to the Chupacabra Tutorials channel. I'm your host, Larry the Chupacabra, and today we're going to demo some of the new functionality inside of Adobe Photoshop. We're currently on Adobe Photoshop 2015.5 edition, although considering Adobe tends to only put out one major update for each piece of software a year, they might as well just cram everything into one and just name it after that year. But anyway, the thing we're going to look at today is the content-aware crop tool. And if you're not aware of what the content-aware features are inside of Photoshop, that's when you remove something and Photoshop automatically decides what to put in its place, so you don't have to try and creatively like cut and paste things there to kind of fill in the gaps. So we're going to use the crop tool up here, and what I really want to do is I kind of want to rearrange this image that I pulled off of Google. I just looked for a random landscape image to demo, and for whatever reason I've decided in my project, my theoretical project, that I want to expand the size of my image, but unfortunately this image is only so big and I don't necessarily want to spend a good 10-20 minutes filling in this space back here so that it looks 100% like it should. Like it's a part of the photograph by creatively snipping out little bits of the background and repasting them. I don't really want to do that. So what I'm going to do instead is, after you select the crop tool, there's this new little button up here called the Content Aware button. You just click on that, and suddenly, when I pull out this crop tool and I hit enter, it'll work on filling in those blanks with stuff that looks like it belongs in the scene. And from first glance, it doesn't look too bad. If you actually zoom in here, you'll notice some hallmark issues of content aware where you have some details from right against the edge of the image being duplicated. And if you look up here in this image, this little bottom of this cloud is being replicated up here. So it's all these little small details that you can pick out if you've used the content-aware tools before, but not necessarily always. And another feature that a lot of people have been demoing it is if you just want to rotate and realign what's going on in the scene for various reasons. So let's say I wanted to skew this image like that. The whole idea is it's supposed to fill in some very small holes as opposed to some flippin' gigantic ones. And when you only have to fill in small holes, it looks a lot better. Let's see, what looks funky? So this piece right here is just a replica of this curvature in the clouds. And then I believe down in this corner over here, if we go back and forth, yeah, this is just dragging and like kind of tiling this mossy landscape in the corner here. But overall, in a pinch, if you need to increase the size of an image or realign it, you don't have a lot of time, or you don't want to spend a lot of time, or you just don't care, content aware is really what you're going to use. So let's see what it looks like when we decide to demo it in something with a little bit more fine detail, like a baseball stadium. So if I just bring this out, and I'm expecting this to be kind of wonky because that's what happens. You see, we've got some ghosting going on here. We've got this black guy 2.5 times because he's a little clipped off here, and he's actually being generated where the fans would normally be sitting. It's just how Photoshop just kind of grabs something that it feels belongs in that area of the photo. And it does okay up here in the black area because there's not a lot of detail up there. Let's see what happens if, well, let me reselect the crop tool because sometimes it gets wonky. Let's rotate this like this and see what it does. That's better. Like on first look, you might not notice that there's some like chopped off half people here because they're just kind of off in the corner, and there's already a bunch of people wearing red because I think it's like the Cardinals playing. I don't really know. I just grabbed this image off of Imgur. this corner up here above the billboard, or like the, what do you call it, the Jumbotron. I mean, it's black. You can't really tell what's supposed to be going on there. That's about it, really. I mean, it works okay. It's not fantastic. It's not crazy wonderment in all dimensions. It's a quick and simple tool to kind of fill in the blanks cheaply, but certainly not in a clever or convincing way. Like, especially when I zoom out on this image, it just kind of looks like you're going through a camera that has a corrupted memory writing portion of its system. So when it writes the images to your your camera's memory card, it gets all fucked up. But yeah, that's the content aware tool for the content aware crop tool in Adobe Photoshop. There's some other tools, like there's a new masking tool to more accurately draw and mask out images of people and animals and objects. And there's also a face detecting liquification tool, and that's the tool that lets you smudge people's faces around, that tries to keep all of the features within human proportions. But if you're messing with someone's face, you're probably going to want to do a lot of fine-tuning anyway, so you either know what you're doing or you're going to practice what you're doing. So that's it for this one, ladies and gentlemen. That's been how you use the content-aware crop tool in Adobe Photoshop. I've been your host, Larry the Chupacabra. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll catch you next time. Toodles, everybody.